that was MSNBC, right? That was their image, and I guarantee you that also went out on major publications. Was probably
I bet
the
it
cover.
was a Time cover. I mean, that looks like a Time cover image, right? That you'd be like, oh yeah.
Well, that's the image I've seen. I've never seen the one of the little person.
No, I would say one of the worst claims because it seems really bad. And I tell you what, if this happened to be true, it would upset me, but it's not.
Right.
That Donald Trump wanted to have, and granted he's a wiener, former Vice President, he shares the same title as former Vice President Joe Biden, former Vice President Mike Pence killed. You've heard them make this claim. They were going to make this today.
In a newly released interview, former President Trump defending rioters who chanted, "Hang Mike Pence," during the January 6th Capitol insurrection. The audio is from an interview with ABC News' Jonathan Karl, conducted at Mar-a-Lago back in March. Karl asked him whether he was worried about Vice President Mike Pence's safety during the riot. Mr. Trump then said it was, quote, common sense for rioters to call for Pence to be hanged.
Are you worried about him?
Now look at the context here.
Were you worried about his safety?
No, I thought he was well protected, and I had heard that he was in good shape.
Watch how he mutters.
No, because
Jonathan Karl, he mutters while Trump is speaking.
But no,
you heard those chants. That was terrible. I mean, those,
he could have. Well, the people were very angry.
They're saying, "Hang Mike Pence."
Because it's common sense, John. It's common sense that you're supposed to protect. How can you, if you know a vote is fraudulent, right? Yeah. How can you pass on a fraudulent vote to Congress?
So the context, first off, you have to take into account that Donald Trump is in a very loud, crowded area. You can hear it. Sounds like a mess hall.
Stuff in the back, yeah.
He was saying it's common sense while Jonathan Karl was saying, they said hang Mike Pence. And he goes like this. They said hang Mike Pence. He was already saying it's common sense. Think about that through a telephone when you're in a loud area. He clearly was not addressing Mike Pence. That's why you can't find anywhere else him suggesting that people should hang Mike Pence, right, or him suggesting that people should commit violence against Mike Pence. He didn't like Mike Pence.
Would that be your answer to that? If somebody said you should hang Mike Pence,
it's common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. Everyone wants to hang Mike Pence.
We also found out Trump was gay because a few minutes later he said, "Homo says what?"
Yes. Huh? What was that? What?
That's all the guy did.
Really
it's very childish. So for them to actually use that as if it's a piece of evidence is just absurd.
And by the way, it also is a setup of they were saying hang Mike Pence as though it's legitimate. Have you guys now remember there was the Washington Post or New York Times, I don't remember here. They had the picture of the noose, right, that was ready for Mike Pence. And you look at it and it looked like they had built some gallows.
Yeah.
We have someone in there, a little person, for scale. Here's that noose, the picture of the hanging Mike Pence. Wow. Can you zoom in on that a little bit there? Look at that.
Look at that.
Scroll it up.
Barely bigger than the blanket or the flag.
But it's going to be rough when they kick the bucket out and he's still kneeling.
Yes.
It also doesn't look like it's put together very well.
And it's also bungee cord. It gives.
Oh, it
Why don't you just build it out of 3 candy canes and tinsel?
It would have the same effect.
I didn't realize it was a midget.
This is worse than the garage pole in NASCAR. I mean,
whatever the word is.
Little person.
Little person. I didn't realize it was a little person.
It's a very little person. A person would, the person would probably be looking up at Robert Reich.
Don't you dare bring him up.
I won't.
Don't you dare.
I brought the Gallows. Who did? It's just this little guy.
Yes.
I don't know what height is. Right. Is this right? I made it 2 feet bigger than me.
Right. You read the quote. It says, hang Mike Pence, Then he demanded I answer him these questions 3. There was...
Weird.
So no one was actually trying to hang Mike Pence. Again, you look at political rhetoric. Do I think it's irresponsible? Of course, you shouldn't go there with any kind of a noose.
No.
But, you know, it's the equivalent to a papier-mâché hat.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump was not addressing that.
No, I mean, and it's crowds get out of control. But when you heard the crowd chanting, have you ever been to a football game and you hear certain chants kind of start but fizzle?
Nope.
And then other football games, you're like, oh, okay, like they're really big into this. Nobody was really going along with it. There was a handful of people, maybe 20 or 30 people that were kind of chanting that. It wasn't in unison, this strong voice from the crowd. Like the entire 200,000 people were chanting it.
Do you mean like when you were at Notre Dame and some people started chanting your name?
You just heard, Gerald. Gerald.
Did you hear that for real?
Gerald!
That would be exciting.
And it was followed by shine my shoes.
They were like,
get your shine box.
And then the dwarf came to hang you and was like, oh, you're a tall drink of water.
Let me kneel down. I would have to hang myself.
That'd be the worst executioner ever.
You're
You
like-
have to request that you hang yourself.
They just have to give you a wire and be like, "Could you do it?"
And Steven, you
All
talked
those
about
things they have at department stores where they have to pull down the blinds.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna regret your sins.
you
Well,
talked
just my
about-
weight broke it.
You talked about MSNBC and the media like misrepresenting it. Here's the photo that they showed.
There you go.
That's the
Yeah.
photo. Look at that. Like,
Oh.
that's real.
Boy, it's almost,
they
it's almost like they cut it off right where the
The midget would have been.
platform is.
Which is almost kind of pivotal because I guarantee you, if you were giving schematics to an executioner, he would demand you include the floor.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second, that's not going to work. Why? Because it's only 4 feet high.
Yeah.
You ever
Look,
seen one of these built?
If we get there to hang this guy, it better not be 4 feet off
Right.
the ground.
The only person who could have hung himself with that
He's
is Jeffrey Epstein.
5'10".
And he would have had to have Hillary Clinton somewhere near.
This isn't going to work at all.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, how
Where'd
are
you-
you going to do
yeah.
this? This is very impractical.
Santa's workshop, they made it.
She's an angry elf. I'm just going to keep using it.
Here, Grumpy's here with his noose.
But pretty soon, he'll be sleepy. A long sleep.
Hi ho, hi ho. Off to hang the VP we go.
It's like Trump was
And a
leading the
tiny
charge.
noose made of paper mache. Hi
Yay.
ho.
Yeah.
Hi ho.
Hi ho. Hi ho.
Ah, this is rickety.
Oh my gosh.
I never knew that.
But no, this is news. This is what people
I only saw the one
Like,
picture
gosh.
of
Can we get them side by side? Can you guys do that just so that people? I
just to
guarantee
piss
people
me
will want
off
that for
more.
scale. It's just again, none of this is real. The media, and this is why I say when people say, "Oh, why do you guys do sketches?" Well, first off, this is an entertainment show.
Yeah.
We provide more references than they have the entire time we've been broadcasting on CNN. They don't do it. They want to operate in the darkness. All we really want is for you to start educating yourself and doing your own research. You may disagree with the points, but we provide the research. And by the way, if you go look at the references, 90% of them are Washington Post, New York Times, coming from Salon.com, HuffPo. We try and use liberal sources consistently, unless it's one that is a lie and has to be refuted by an accurate source. But that was MSNBC, right? That was their image, and I guarantee you that also went out on major publications. Was probably
I bet
the
it
cover.
was a Time cover. I mean, that looks like a Time cover image, right? That you'd be like, oh yeah.
Well, that's the image I've seen. I've never seen the one of the little person.
no, of course you.
I
wouldn't
only
see
seen
that.
the other one, not the Oompa Loompa.
Or a video. All right.
Oh,
And you know there was an audible gasp.
that one's that one's even higher up.
Yeah, it is.
It's as big as the Capitol.
Bunch of pricks. I'm
That's the
sorry.
biggest noose I've ever seen.
You know what this does? By the way, I'm sorry.
They slap on there like the Twix ads and comic books saying
Yeah.
actual size.
Yeah.
Do you know what this does? It fuels the next problem. That's
Right.
all this does.
Good
You
point.
basically are just vilifying people. You've made it. You made a comment on it earlier. People being held without bail or charges, by the way, until at least August in some of the cases.
Right.
Do the math. January to August. Right. That's a long period of time. I know they didn't get them that day, but pretty close after that. This fuels rage from people when you lie and intentionally misrepresent things.
It looks like she's standing outside of Macy's.
You know they went to Home Depot right before this. Here's the 10-foot ones if you want the Nah, let's get the 5
Can you show it again? It looks like she looks like one of those like she might be like a tiny like midget Kazakhstani in the Caucasus Mountains.
Oh my
Like she's a Sherpa.
Those are 5-foot boards. Got to be 5 foot.
It's just what was left over from the Home Depot Halloween section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't need these 4x4s, do you?
No, you can take that.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. I need part of it. You know what? That's not. It's now a 4x3. You're fine. That's enough.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Do you have any light rope that couldn't hold a neck?
Yes. No. You might want to try Party City.
Twine,
Perfect.
Maybe some string.
Yeah, maybe. like bungee-ish.
Yeah.
There's still googly eyes on it from the display at Michael's.
String. Do you have any?
That's why you need Jim Jordan on this couch to be like, oh, you mean this picture? He just pops it up.
And it's just the theater where they also they weren't as though, by the way, as though they weren't also saying that Mike Pence was a Nazi who wanted to electrocute gays. Let's just be clear.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.